We've got two missing link bots here, Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, and I tell you if these are worth $39.99. First of all, thank you Transformers Third Party Kingdom, and also to Tim Reagan with the Transformers Underground for these amazing little bots. So let's talk about these missing link bots. Let's do it. What is happening, folks? It is Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you back to another episode of The Good, The Bad, The Awesome, where I unbox, give my first reaction to all things pop culture. So if you like to see what I see, hit that like, subscribe, get notified when we have new videos. And if you're already doing that, thank you so very much. So I've got a couple of things here. This is the missing link Bumblebee and Cliffjumper C-03, C-04. You may ask yourself, what was number 1 and 2? They were both Optimus Prime. But we've got these guys here, and huge shout out to the Transformers Third Party Kingdom, where I did win Cliffjumper here through a raffle that Tim Reagan hosted, which Tim usually does those on the Transformers Underground, which I'll put a link to those pages, their Facebook pages, because the Transformers Underground, you can win some really cool stuff. But I won this one, and we know we can't have him without his brother, or they're not brothers, but and so the other winner, Adam Burnham, did not want this one, so I traded him some stuff to get this, so I was able to get both of these guys. Now, typically retail, these are about $39.99 or $40, and you may be going, oh my goodness, that may not be worth it for these little tiny bots. But we'll take a look at it and see, you know. But there is the boxes. I just want to show you how small these boxes are, and there's no reference here, but the box is only 4 inches tall. Let's see here. This is my dusting bottle here, and so you can kind of see these are tiny boxes, because inside are tiny bots. I mean, they're supposed to be the G1s, but with more articulation. But I digress. We need to get them out of the box. But first, let's take a look at the boxes. So here is the Bumblebee box. There is the front. Love the old school artwork, and I love the fact that it is like the old school Takara boxes too as well. The top just shows you how to transform. The side, some more Bumblebee. The back, all the stuff, the official licensed product of Volkswagen, which is awesome. And then this, maybe that's why it costs so much, is because they had to pay for that. But yeah, you can kind of see the articulation right here. But that's Bumblebee. And here is the old Cliffjumper. And so there is the front, looks pretty similar. The side, the top, the bottom, the back, no official license on here, but all the cool. I mean, I just love how retro and how cool these boxes look. Almost don't want to open them, but I've got to do it for the people. So let's, without further ado, let's get them out of their boxes. So what do you say? Why don't we just do these unboxings just live and sexy without the need of time lapse. So let's bring out my other new blade right here. Yeah, I will cut you. I will cut you. So let's start with Cliffjumper. Love me some Cliffjumper. Love his attitude, especially in the new Skybound comics. I don't know if you saw the panel, but where he's flipping the bird while Optimus Prime is just kicking butt. But that is very Cliffjumper-ish. Oh, very cool. Instructions. We got some stickers here too as well. Oh, decals, Jimmy. They're decals. I can't get this out, so I'm going to try to force it out with my knife. Nope. Let's do this. We'll open the other side. How does that sound? So, boom, push. There we go. And boom. So there he is out of that package. I love it's got styrofoam and so cool. And he's got his bazooka and he's got his pew pew. And let's get Cliffjumper out of his styrofoam cage and onto our table. There he is. Let's see if I can get him standing good. He's like not going, nope, I don't want to stand. Now he's wanting to stand. Now he doesn't want to. Now he is. And so we'll get him standing because I don't want to give away any of the articulation. So we'll put that to the side. And let's get old Bumblebee out here. Get old Bumblebee. Yes. I'm squishing up my baby Bumblebee. Won't my mother be so proud of me? So slice and slice. And let's open this guy up. Open says me. Boom. We'll open this side too, so we can push. Got some Bumblebee action. Got some stickers again, and his little card. And look at him. He only has a little pew pew. Don't judge his pew pew, okay? And let's bring him out. And there we are. And so we've got the two dynamic duo right there. Oh. And Cliffjumper still says, forget you guys. It's like giving me the proverbial finger. And boom, boom. And there they are, out of the box and onto my table. I kind of wish they were in their alt mode because, you know, that's what I liked. I liked them in their alt mode before they're in the robot modes. And so that's the way me likes me stuff. So from a height standpoint, what you're looking at on these guys, both of them measure in at a good little under 3.5 inches. Or if you are on the metric system, you are looking at 8.75 centimeters. And so that is how big these guys are. And so again, you already saw we got the instructions in the card and the decals here for both of them. So we'll move that out of this way. Let's take a look at Bumblebee's gun. Little tiny gun. Beautiful. I love the fact it comes with a gun. I remember the original G1 toy did not. And that's all he gets. And then Cliffjumper's big old bazooka. That is so cool. I love the look, the chrome, get my fingerprints all over it. And then we have the little gun here too as well. Looks just like Bumblebee's, but Bumblebee's is a little bit smaller. It's a little shorter. This is his gun in the pool and not in the pool. So there we are. So that is the difference between those two. Bumblebee's is more rounded. This is more squared. And so there you go. And so let's take a look. We'll go through the articulation of just one of these guys because both of the articulations are about the same. But let's take a closer look first at Cliffjumper because I love his red. It's so, so good. And just look at that face, just like the face you got when you bought that G1 toy. Everything feels G1 about this guy. The only big difference that you would probably see is he can pose and articulate. But yeah, just gorgeous. There is the front of him. There's the side, the back. Love, again, all the stickers, the side. The bottom, and we got the rub sign too as well. Very, very cool. So that is awesome. So we'll put Cliffjumper back. Thank you very much, Cliffjumper. He goes, I still don't want to stand for you, but that is okay, Cliffjumper. I get it. I get it. And let's go to Bumblebee. Beautiful Bumblebee. Look at that face. Only a face that someone who loved a G1 Bumblebee could love. But yeah, there his I mean, just looks just like the G1. Everything feels like it. The Volkswagen Beetle, really, really cool. Love, again, the chrome, the rubber tires are rubber. Everything feels just right. And so from an articulation, you do have head swivel, which is very, very cool. You have the arm, does move up, does move around, in and out, and it also bends up. So that is cool. You also have, you don't have a waist swivel, but you do get, let's see if we can separate these feet, but you do get articulation, you get swivel, do you get any tiltage? Yeah, a little bit of tiltage there. You can kick up, and you can kick back? Can't quite kick back that much there. So that's kind of where you are at on articulation on these guys, but that makes it so cool. So you can do some really interesting poses and things like that if you want to. And so his gun does fit within his hand. Was Bumblebee a righty or a lefty? I am going to make him, let's take a look at the picture. The picture has him as a righty, and so we'll put his gun in his right hand. If I can get it in. That's what she said. But there you go. Gun in hand. There he is. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little guy. And these arms are a little bit loose, loosey-goosey. These little joints right here, back here. A little bit loose for me right here. I don't know if everyone's copy is like that, but mine is. And so that's a little bit tough. But, you know, hey, that's the way the Bumblebee crumbles if you want a good looking Bumblebee. If I can get him standing just right. There we go. So let me bring in some other bots for comparison and we can take a look at them. Okay, folks, I am back and I got some bots for comparison. So very first thing we're going to compare, we got G1 Bumblebee here. Actual G1 Bumblebee versus that. So height standpoint, they are the same height. Just about, yep, absolutely. Now I have a G1 Cliffjumper, but he is the yellow version. Again, same height right there. And then last but not least, I'm going to scoot this to the side. Well, not last but not least, but this is a core class Transformers Legends Bumblebee. So you can see how big he is. So about the same size as the core class. I don't have the deluxe class Bumblebee, so I don't have him to compare him. But I do have one more guest star. Let's move y'all out of the way. And they're like, who is it? It's your Papa. Big Papa Pump here. This is the Missing Link animation accurate Optimus Prime. So that is them compared to other robots. And so you can decide now if you are a collector of the Missing Link, so you may want to get these guys, but are they worth 40 bucks? I don't know. You know, they to me are still, the verdict is out. And so, but let's do this. Let's transform the heck out of these guys and see what we can do. So let me try. I'm going to do it without the instructions, folks. Do it without the instructions. I'm going to try to see if it does it just like the original. So we'll take old B here, and I believe I'm going to have to turn this arm in like so. There we go. Turn that arm in like so. And then these legs, we'll have to tab them back together, I believe. Yep, there we are. And then we're going to, how does this go? Does this bend down? I don't know. That is interesting. Okay, maybe. Some of y'all are cringing right now, going, oh my God, Jimmy, don't break it. Don't break it. I'm going to untab because it might be easier to bend those down if I untab. Okay. Let's see. Is that working? No. So there might be a different kind of transformation for these guys, and I don't know what they are. So let's see and figure it out. Let me go ahead and get some instructions. Okay, folks, figured out the transformation. It is quite simple, just I have some really tight joints on mine. So once they loosen up, they'll be a lot easier. So we'll show you with Cliffjumper. I already have Bumblebee transformed. I had to look up to see how he did. Thanks to MGO for transforming Bumblebee, I know how to transform Cliffjumper. So a couple things, too, that I do want to point out. You can store Cliffjumper's weapon on the back. And then the only one other caveat that I don't like about Cliffjumper, his head doesn't like to stay up, you know, it's springy. So, but anyways, let's take these things out now. What's cool is right down here, there's a little peg, and there's a peg on the side of the gun, and you can store his weapon right in his foot, like so. Like I said, like so, if I can get it in, but let's see if I can get it in there. There, like so. There we are. And so you can store the weapon, and then we're just going to tab those 2 feet together because we're going to need those here in just a moment. So what you want to do is you want to turn, you just want to align. I like to align everything first. Now, some people like to do it all one step at a time, but I like to kind of just align everything so it is ready. So pop the head down. Now here's the bad part. The head doesn't fully go in here, so you can kind of see it's got a little bit of a, yeah, it's just got a little gappy there. And then you're going to fold these legs down and you're just going to push them in, and it's going to go just like that. And then the arms, there's a peg here and a peg here. And so what these do is they squeeze in and then you peg it in. Pretty similar to the original toy, and you've got Cliffjumper all in his mode, ready to go. And here is Bumblebee. So Bumblebee is here too as well, and again you can kind of see the head does not like to go all the way in. My Bumblebee is a little bit gappy on here. I've been trying to push him back together and things, but he is just being a little gappy on my copy. But yeah, I love the rubber wheels. I mean, you get the like little cool just racing. I know it's supposed to be like the original toy, but would have been cool if they would have painted those little headlights. That would have been awesome, or just little stickers there. That would be cool. I wish that could have happened. But yeah, here is Bumblebee. So you can take a look. Just the same size as your G1 Remembers. Everything about him is the same. And then let's bring Cliffjumper back in. And there he is. He came together a lot better, a lot easier than Bumblebee did. But again, this bugs me right here. I mean, if you're gonna pay $40 for a toy, you'd want that head to sit kind of flush. But yeah, especially on Bumblebee, it's a little bit more or less flush than it is on Cliffjumper. But yeah, there they are. Let me give you kind of the size here. We'll just kind of bring them both in here, and you've got almost 2 inches, and then from a centimeter standpoint, about 5 centimeters long and 3 centimeters high, and a little over an inch and a quarter high. So that is them right there. There's not much to them. I mean, just the old school nostalgia that you would normally have with these guys, and so just play around with them. But so let's bring in their original counterparts. And so here is Bumblebee and his original counterpart, and you can kind of see just the way they look. Same size and all. He may be just a little hair bigger because his head fits out. But see, they made that flush. Why can't we do it here? And interesting that the rub sign on mine is on the foot, when they could have put it there. That would have been cool. But yeah, pretty similar. All in all, very, very cool. Loving the rubber tires. And then let's bring in Cliffjumper. There's the original right here. This is the missing link right here. So I'll let y'all take a look. Boom. Again, pretty similar all around on that. So boom. But yeah, very, very cool. And then if you just want to see a core class Bumblebee right there. So very cool. So let's do this. Let's get back together for my final thoughts. Tell you if this is worth $39.99, or should you pass it up and go with something different? So let's do it. So what are my final thoughts on these two little guys? So let's bring in Cliffjumper first. This is kind of the way I'll probably keep him. He's so beautiful. He's so cute. And let's bring in Bumblebee. And this is the way I will keep them. So there are both of them right there. And so pros, I mean, these have all the nostalgia feels that you could ever want in a robot, that when you were a kid and you went, man, the only thing that's missing from these guys is weapons and articulation. And now Takara has given that to us. That is, I mean, it is the same size. The transformation is very, very similar. And everything just is really cool. Rubber tires, all that good stuff. Looks just like the G1 counterpart, the old school 80s toy, except you can pose them. Now, the cons, there's a couple. for me. So Cliffjumper, his head does not like to stay up, and so it kind of leans down like that a little bit. So I have that issue with him. The other con is that these guys, that when you put their heads down in alt mode, the heads still kind of peek out a little bit. So they still do peek out. Now Cliffjumpers doesn't peek out as much as Bumblebees, but they do. I think they could have done a better job with that. And then the last con I have is it's $39.99 for 2 of these little bots here. That's a lot of shekels there, my friends. So, I mean, you've got to decide, is it worth it for you? Now, for me, it was because I'm collecting the Missing Link line. I've got the Missing Link Optimus, so these 2 are just logical choices to add to that, and I will be adding Missing Link Sunstreaker and Missing Link RC when she comes out too as well. But I would have loved, I think these would have been a no-brainer if they were around $25 to $30. I think I would have been like, I would have definitely jumped on board with those. Now, if you're not into the retro toy nostalgia, then you skip these. Skip these bots. You don't need them. But if you're into the retro nostalgia but want that, just that all the feels, then yeah, I love them. You just got to determine $39.99, $39.99 here in the US. I don't know in Canada how much it would be or anywhere else, but you just got to decide, is it worth it for me? Will they go on sale? Probably not. But I'm guessing that they had to pay for the license of Volkswagen on this one, but they didn't have to pay for a license on him. But I don't know. So for me, if I had to do it over again and I wasn't collecting Missing Link, then I probably would have passed up on these guys. I have the original G1s. Why do I need these guys, right? So, but they're in my collection. I'm happy with that because I did win them. I won them on the Transformers Third Party Kingdom from Tim Reagan, as well as through the Transformers Underground. But thank you also, Adam, for trading me for Bumblebee here. So I'm glad I got these. On a scale of good, bad, awesome, these are pretty awesome, but they do have their little caveats, especially the price on these. So that is all I got to say about these. So if you like this video, maybe consider giving a super thanks or maybe becoming a member. But becoming a subscriber is love enough, and spread the love because I'd like to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. And with that, I leave you with this. So tune in next time when we talk about something else, good, bad, or awesome. And in the meantime, y'all remember to stay young, have fun, and be awesome. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.